another enriching edition of Super Cool Obi Radio FM.com, the Art of Sculpting without Tracy, where nutrition leads everyday wellness for a stronger, healthier you. But today, we will be diving deep into a crucial but often overlooked head, often overlooked hero of health. Can you just tune down the volume of the radio set, please? Hello, hello, Bernadine.
Hi, Ike, how are you?
Can you tune down like something in the background there? Can you tune down the volume a bit, please?
Should I put it down?
Yes, something is. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right,
Can you
you're
hear?
welcome one more time. And
Thank you, Ike.
hi, this is Soye Elekima, your regular host, and I'm going to go on the break. But nevertheless, it's going to be what we refer to as loving God's fiber. And that is going to be treated by Nadine. I just called her name. Actually, I never wanted to call her name earlier. I just wanted her to introduce herself to you because she is somebody that is very special to me. And when I mean special to me, she got quite a lot of knowledge. And most times when she speaks, I feel full because I don't need to eat further. But however it is, we need to go on a break, and when we're back, definitely she's going to be speaking to you all the way from South Africa. All right, we're back down from our short break, and I told you that I never wanted to mention her name, but fortunately, I had to mention her name. Probably it's because of the way I get myself or for myself into resonance most times when I see that she is going to be the guest. I get lost in her because she has quite a lot. She's just a weight of knowledge, and most times when I just look at her or hear her some things regards to things related to either anything that has to do with food, I found myself lost. And that's exactly why I just sort of try and remember the name. But however it is, yes, Bernardine is going to be talking to us about what we refer to as the hero. Something that's extremely crucial and refer to it as the hero of health, which is the God-loving fiber. This vital dietary component does more than just keep you regular. It's something that is referred to as a cornerstone for overall well-being, supporting digestion, fitness, performance, mental health, immunity, and much more. And my question is very simple. But before we get into those, it's important that you be part of this show, make your contributions, comments. Probably if you want to make any inquiry, you can call us on +234 8143 or you follow us on our social fitness talk show. Better to do us an email to obradiofm.tk@gmail.com. Hi, it is. How you doing, Bernardine?
I'm very well, thanks, and yourself?
Yeah, indeed, you look very well because I wish you're gonna be giving me some of those your good foods that you eat that you're looking nice like this. Because most times when I just think of you, I feel full because I know that you'll be telling me things that is actually going to help me. But however it is, yes, today is going to be different. We're looking at the hero of health. And the hero of health, we're talking about the God's loving fiber. The God's is one hero that everybody look at. We call it the crucial dietary component that helps mental health, that helps in health, that also help us in different ways. And my question is very simple today. And my question is, what is fiber and the role it plays in our diet?
Perfect. I think that's such a important question. I think everyone has heard about fiber, but not necessarily sure what that in fact is. So fiber is actually the undigestible part of our plant-based foods. So we can commonly find it in our fruits, veggies, whole grains, legumes, and so on. But it can actually be broken into two different groups. So you actually get insoluble fiber as well as soluble fiber. And it's important to understand, what the different roles is that these two fiber play. So our soluble fiber, this can be digested a little bit easier and actually absorbed or broken down in water. So this soluble fiber can actually help us to manage our blood sugar levels and actually also manage our cholesterol levels. Where the insoluble fiber, on the other hand, it's a little bit more rigid, not really breaking down as easily. And this is where we can actually help move food easier through our digestive tract. So, as you mentioned, fiber is known for its benefit in managing and preventing constipation. But we know we very often consume it inadequately in our diet.
Now the question is, where can we find fiber? Where exactly
Excellent
can we find
question.
fiber?
Excellent question. So once again, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber might be found in different or even the same space. Let's take an apple, for example. If we eat an apple, we will consume it mostly with the skin. And the skin of our fruits and veg generally contains the insoluble fiber part, where the inside, the center of the apple, would then contain the soluble fiber. So let me give a few examples. Soluble fiber can be found in our oats, our barley. We can even find it in our beans, peas. But did you know you can actually even find it in avocado? Where insoluble fiber, that's like I mentioned, a bit more rigid. So that would be the skin of our fruits and veggies. Our bran flakes will also incorporate that, just to name a few examples.
Well, you've just had all of that, and she has given us where we could find fibers, and again, the importance of fibers, how rich they are, how good they are. We have the soluble, we have the insoluble, and how important they are to man. And what are the common mistakes people make when it comes to fiber? There are some things that are a bit common. Those mistakes people make when it comes to fiber, please.
So I think firstly, I often see we're not consuming enough fiber. And I think it's due to people not knowing how much they should be consuming. So we generally aim for anything from 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. This is to help optimize that health benefit of fiber. But I'll explain to you what that does contribute to, because what is going to give us 30 grams of fiber, right? We know that, for example, incorporating more of a brown bread instead of a white bread, we will increase the fiber content. And that is one common mistake, is not incorporating enough carb-rich foods that is high in fiber to achieve this goal. So therefore, very often people would actually eliminate carbohydrates completely for no medical reason, but more of a health conscious reason. And that, by eliminating carbohydrates, we can actually cause our diet to be too low in fiber. So for example, like I mentioned, a white bread now can give us anything from 4.5 grams, right, per 100 grams. But More whole wheat brown bread can give us up to 6 grams or more of fiber. You see how important carbohydrates can actually be in our diet. So the biggest problem is people are over eliminating carbohydrates and being afraid of it. I always advise opting for more whole wheat carbohydrates instead of our refined carbs to actually optimize that. And another very, very big challenge that clients very often do is not being mindful of the water intake. So, water intake, we know, has quite significant health benefits. It can also help with that gut health. And it's because our fiber actually uses water during digestion. So, not consuming enough water can actually suppress the benefit of fiber and could even lead to constipation.
Well, you've just had again, you see, there are a lot that goes on, a lot that goes on, especially for those who want to get involved in weight control management. They find themselves, oh, some will tell them you just have to take your carbohydrates off completely. And she has just told us the importance of it. We all know why growing up that yes, carbohydrate gives you strength and protein builds builds your muscle or do whatever. We know all of these, and suddenly when we got to a certain age, because of the excess deficit of calories, we find ourselves struggling with what exactly carbohydrate does to us. But the fiber in carbohydrate is extremely very important because that is really, really going to help us in various forms. And that's the reason why we say we need to bring Bernadine to actually come and help us. She is a dietitian all the way from South Africa. But I need to ask her this question again. And what is your pro tip of adding fiber to your diet? What is your pro tip on that?
That's an excellent question. So, kind of want to take it back to what I've already briefly discussed to say opting for our more whole wheat carbohydrates and finding the balance of incorporating that into your diet can already be very beneficial. I think the audience already now kind of have a better understanding of where to go and find that fiber in their diet and how they can enrich it. But I know we also now more in winter time, so we are more likely to consume maybe things like soup and stew instead of all our salads and veggies and so on. So my pro tip usually is to try and incorporate more fiber into those meals, right? So for example, adding in more legumes, beans, peas, that's good sources of fiber that we can add in. We can also incorporate more vegetables, as vegetables is also a good source of fiber. Secondly, definitely our fruit intake sometimes also suppresses during winter time. So try and stick with at least having 1 to 2 fruit portions still per day. And very, very important, don't go for an all or nothing approach. Sometimes, if people do add fiber to their diet, they would go from, I want to say, 0 to 30 in a very short period of time. And this can actually also cause some gut upset and might even result in constipation. So take it slow, start day by day and slowly increasing fiber into your favorite meals. And lastly, really important to remember the water intake. Water and fiber is best friends for our optimal gut health.
I say hydration is something that we could always wrapping around when moving about. And in everything we talk about, we always want to hold hydration responsible. Anything we want to do, we see that it comes first. Basically, the reason why it comes from that question is going to be answered someday by Bernadine because she needs to tell me why must water be around everything we do. We want to exercise, we know we lost electrolytes, there is water. Now we're talking about fiber, there needs to be water. And because water is extremely very important because they are best friends to move with fiber, definitely if there is no water, there is something that is going to happen to your God's health. And that's the question I really want to ask her right now, that what impact can fiber have on your gut and health?
Excellent question. So, I mean, our gut, we know, actually impacts our overall health. Therefore, it's so important to establish a good gut health. We know that, firstly, fiber, as mentioned, can help optimize that regular bowel movements, which would reduce constipation, inflammation, and so forth in your gut. But we also know that our gut is home to a lot of bacteria. And our good bacteria actually feeds on fiber, the prebiotics, to actually optimize and multiply. So, for an optimal gut microbiota, we really need to incorporate a variety of fermented foods to optimize the probiotic intake, and we also need to get adequate fiber in. But we also know that this gut health can impact our overall health. So, yes, fiber can be very beneficial in a more anti inflammatory diet. We also have seen that fiber can manage the cholesterol levels and help reduce your LDL or bad cholesterol. It can improve your good cholesterol. And very, very important, we need to try and incorporate fiber with each meal. Fiber is going to fill you up, so it's going to help your portion control and help with overall weight maintenance. But we also know that this can actually stabilize your blood sugar levels. So, where refined carbs would actually cause more of a spike in your blood sugar and then a drop, fiber can actually help manage it much better. And this is linked with our energy levels, which will optimize our productivity, right? Everyone here is going to work, need to concentrate, so fiber can actually help with that as well.
Well, in as much as fiber is extremely very important for whatever sources we're going to get fiber, we know that the whole grains are things that is actually going to do us more better than refined ones, and that's exactly what she has just explained to us. But we need to go on a short break, and when we're back, definitely we have quite loaded questions, which I know that the answers are things that just guys really going to give me a good rest, because whenever I have on air, I think I really go home and have a good rest and I prepare myself for a better portion control. I'll be right back after the short break. All right, we're back now from our short break, and for all those guys preparing for the Miss Universe Nigeria that is going to come up in October, it's important you know what fiber is and how to take in fiber, especially now that preparation is on top gear for every athlete that is going through every form of conditioning to make sure they achieve their dream. And this forthcoming Mr. Universe event and other IABB events all over the world, just make sure you have the time to listen to OBRadioFM.com, where we have Bernardine giving us the most up-to-date information when it starts to do with fiber. I think you really missed out if you're not part of this show that is going on right at the moment. But nevertheless, we see her Bernardine with a question right before her. Yes, and in case you're just joining us, this is OBRadioFM.com, the art of discovering without twisting. We're reaching you live from our live studio from the city of Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. Don't forget the line to call is +234-814-371-4093, or you follow us on our socials, Fitness Talk Show. But also do us an email to obradiofm.uk@gmail.com. Yeah, now I take you straight back to Bernadine. She was See, that's a question that I really want to ask. And my question is, how does consuming fiber-rich food support a healthy gut microbiome? And what are the best high fiber foods you recommend for daily nutrition?
Very good question. So we know that fiber obviously helps optimize our gut bacteria. And therefore, we want to incorporate a variety of fiber, right? There is a lot of good options, but I always try and say, let's make it practical. So choose a fiber option that is going to work for you, right? If you're someone that's not going to like enjoying eating oats, I'm not going to tell you to have that. There's so much other alternatives to having fiber, soluble fiber. But wintertime, I know oats is, for example, generally a very good go-to breakfast that doesn't take excessively long to make, and we can start our day off with a good fiber. But if you're someone that prefers more of a warmy, savory type of breakfast, incorporating something like a whole wheat, right? So do you understand how we can actually, based on how you are already eating, incorporate more fiber? Start small and build up from there. We want to get a variety of not just starch, but also our fruit and veg, right? We will get different forms of fiber and as well as antioxidants that can help support that overall gut health.
Well, you've just had it. Most times I get lost in the labyrinth of total joy and satisfaction when I listen to Bernadine. She had just told me what I really want to hear. Yes, if you don't have the urge, she's not going to tell you to eat the urge. In as much as you're comfortable and allergic to a particular meal, then definitely you need to go for your best. Especially having confirmed or known the fact that yes, fibers are actually antioxidants that is really going to help us in terms of taking away all those free radicals, then fiber is a highly rich food. So the decision is yours with what you are comfortable with. No one is compelled to eat what you don't want to eat, especially when you are not comfortable with it. Thank you very much. And let me ask my next question. In what ways does a fiber rich diet influence energy levels and stamina during physical activities and workouts? I take it again. In what ways does a fiber rich diet influence energy levels and stamina during physical activities and workouts? Can it enhance fitness performance indirectly?
Excellent question. So, as I tried to explain a little bit earlier, our fiber actually reduces the digestion rate. Therefore, your carbohydrates and your blood sugar levels would spike less and have a more constant energy level. So, yes, it is really important for our performance athletes to also incorporate adequate fiber in their diet, especially before exercise on our regular days. Race days is a bit of a different thing. Then we do not want to consume excess amounts of fiber as this can result in gut upset and we generally then want a little bit more quicker release carbohydrates. So it's important if you are training for a race to maybe speak to your dietitian to get a personalized plan for you, but it can definitely optimize your performance by managing your energy levels and avoiding that crash of energy during your workouts.
Well, let me ask this question again. Fiber is often linked with increased satiety, and how can use to their advantage when practicing portion control for weight management or healthy eating habits?
Excellent statement and question. So, we know by incorporating fiber, that's going to help keep us fuller for longer as it binds with water during digestion. So, it would fill up our gut and manage that hunger throughout the day. It's also linked with your blood sugar levels that's more stable. So we would not get that sugar cravings to try and increase our blood sugars again. So, yes, fiber can definitely help manage our overall portion intake, and that can actually manage and help with any weight maintenance or loss that we are looking to achieve.
Well, I think it's important. We just have to bring Bernadine often here because she will be talking to all the diabetic patients and every other person, making them understand more of this. Because I think people are getting themselves a bit confused exactly what fiber is, what kind of fiber do they need to eat, and what exactly happens in terms of blood sugar regulation. All of these are things that Bernadine should be able to help her because her answers are things that are actually very satisfactory for me. I think I need to commend that to her. Probably I've been having myself, mixed up, not really getting on with Bernadine, especially when I'm in South Africa for the annuals. I think I need to see her so that she's going to help me with some rich fiber food so that I'll be looking nice. However it is, I take you straight again to the next question. How does fiber intake affect sleep quality or night time comfort? And again, especially for those who experience bloating or indigestion at night.
So, sorry, I'm going to ask you to just repeat that question. I had a bit of a sound
How
dip.
does, yeah, how does fiber intake affect sleep quality or nighttime comfort, especially for those who experience bloating or indigestion at night?
Very good question. So often we first also need to look at if we're having experiencing bloating and indigestion at night. Overall lifestyle is really important. But we also need to know that it might not only affect you at night, you might be more aware of it at night. So, therefore, we need to really focus on having a balanced diet, focus on small meals, right? And then a fiber rich diet generally has much less refined carbs. So, therefore, it can definitely help with indigestion and reduce the risk of that. And also fiber-rich diets can help balance your meals to help you, once again, like we just mentioned, portion control. And for that reason, it is going to get your gut overall more better, which will help with sleep quality. But it's important to really focus on a whole holistical approach and not necessarily just fiber, as there might be something underlying also going on. So if you're experiencing any bloating or indigestion, check your fiber, check your diet, and let's see how we can optimize that.
Well, this whole thing is getting more interesting. And in case you're just joining us, it's obradiofm.com. We need you to make your comments, contributions, and most likely, if you want to make any inquiry, it's very, very important. But don't forget the line to call is +234-8143-714-093, or you follow us on our social Fitness Talk Show. Better send us an email to obradiofm@gmail.com. We're going to go on a break, and when we're back, we still have just a few questions. So ask.
Hi guys, hope everyone is doing fine out there. So my name is Mike Kunda. I am a fitness trainer and also a CEO of Fitness Masters Zambia. So I am based in Zambia. So I want you guys to keep watching FTV as we will be posting our fitness tips and fitness talk show there, and also always listen to OB Radio. And don't forget to like our page, Fitness Masters Zambia, and also follow FTV and OB Radio on our various platforms. Thank you very much.
Hi guys. My name is Timon Moyo from Zimbabwe, based in Botswana. Please keep watching FTV. Also, always listen to OB Radio. We're kicking live. Fitness is our lifestyle,
Hello everybody, this is your boy Kabodwin Mudikwa, all the way from Botswana, the CEO of Duncan Jakes Auto Repairs, and we reside in the second city of Botswana, which is Francistown. I want to shout out to OB Radio FM and FTV, for I love their programs, and they're very nice, they're interesting, they're got knowledge, and I love their music. They got taste in music. You guys, you should follow these programs that are always happening in OB Radio FM and FTV, and you should catch me too on this Radio FM and the TV station, for I'll be your mechanic expert.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Duke Nicholas Duke Beleman, a business owner and the head chef at Chef Duke, right here in the city of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Keep watching FTV and always listen to OB Radio FM. I am there.
Hi viewers, this is Dr. Vasant Narayanan from Tanzania. I am a sports physiotherapist working in sports clinic called Sinus Physiotherapy Clinic in Dar es Salaam. Keep watching us on FTV and listen to OB Radio FM, our fitness talk show. We are there to help you. Welcome. Thank you.
Hello guys, good afternoon from Smart Motor Garage in Fort Gambia. I am Lavin Fadera, CEO. Yeah, keep watching FTV and then OB Radio FM. I am in.
Alright guys, this is Gentle Jack. Keep watching FTV and OB Radio FM. Don't touch the dial. Thank me later.
Hello guys. My name is Coach Marcelo from Cello Fitness. I am a fitness trainer and also my country is Zimbabwe, guys. Always keep watching FTV and keep on listening OB Radio FM.
Who is going to be your spotter? The in that is in you, the spiritual negotiator. Fear is just a favorable excuse against resolve.
Ladies and gentlemen, fear kills dreams.
Okay, friends, I am so glad you are here to say.
We're back down from our short break, and I just take you straight to what exactly is going to be given out today. We just have a few last questions to ask Bernardine, and the questions are going to come all the way. But I've said it that in case you want to make any comment, contributions, or you want to be part of this show, don't forget to call us on +348-143-714-093, or you download our app. On Apple Store, it's Fitness Talk Show, and on Google, it's Fitness_Talk Show. It is that app, so you need to definitely use that app, because that app is actually going to guide you, and it's in that help you in terms of articulated regimens that you need based on whatever local conditions or circumstances you find yourself. I could tell you for free that definitely it's going to help you. But we have Bernardine right here, and I'm going to be asking her the next question. Now, my question to Bernardine right now is, what practical strategies can people adopt to gradually increase their fiber intake without causing digestive discomfort? And how can this be sustained as part of a long-term healthy lifestyle?
So definitely, if we want to make incorporating fiber more practical, once again, I always say start where you are. Check what is your regular meals that you would consume and try and add fiber to that. Changing your diet can be very difficult. So therefore, we want to make small practical changes to incorporate fiber and water into your diet. As I mentioned, stew season is upon us, so how can we incorporate more fiber in there? If you're not big on that and you still love your salads and so on, once again, salads is a great source of fiber, but incorporating maybe some legumes and beans into our salad can incorporate more fiber. So we need to be very practical and don't try and have fiber in one meal. Try and distribute it throughout the day so we can actually achieve our 30-gram goal for the day. Small switches, for example, going from a more refined rice to brown rice, right? That can already increase our fiber. Or something as simple as having a more brown bread or whole wheat is a good other way. Instead of having our refined white bread, ideally, we don't want to have all the nice pastries, even though they taste quite nice. They're very high in our refined flour, very low in fiber, but more higher in sugar and calories.
Well, you've just heard from her. I think for me, I'm safe because she's going to be doing me a well bill to send me something that I'll be eating, especially the fibers I want, because she has confirmed actually the kind of fiber I need. And for my listeners, you really want to get more from her, then you need to take her contact because she's going to do me a well bill. Definitely, I'm going to be fine. And if you actually really want to make your body turn to go just like mine, then you need to take her contact. How can they reach you? What's your contact, your social media handles, please?
Definitely. So, my practice name is Blom Dietetics, and we are on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook. They can also reach me on WhatsApp. So, happy to share my contact details. But my social media handle is Blom_dietetics, as well as on Facebook, it's Blom.dietetics.
Can you take this again, please?
Yes, I can definitely. So on Instagram, I am Blom_dietetics, and it's with a double T. And then with Facebook, it is Blom.dietetics. My logo is very visible, and there I have already shared quite a few helpful tips regarding fiber as well. And for any other further inquiries, they can welcome to contact me or email me as well.
Well, let's just ask the last question to Barney. And my last question to you is, especially in connection with the God-brain axis.
Apologies, Ike. I think we might have cut off. Would you mind repeating that last question for me?
Yeah, let me take this question again. I said, beyond digestion, what are the broader impacts of fiber on immune function, mental clarity, and mood, especially in connection with the God-brain axis?
So very, very good question. So we know our gut is linked, right? So we
Hello?
have that. Hi, Ike, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? There we go. So,
Yes.
as I mentioned, your gut is so linked with your mood, and there is a direct link with the gut-brain barrier. So fiber can obviously help with your gut health, reducing that inflammation, and therefore we're going to have an overall better outcome. But our gut also is home for where the serotonin, the happy hormone, is secreted. So a poor gut obviously is going to have a direct impact on our mood. Therefore, by eating more balanced and focusing on optimizing your gut health, we can actually improve your overall mood and outcome. And that obviously improves our quality of life, right? So there is a direct correlation between fiber and our quality of life.
Well, you've just had all of these from Bernardine all the way from South Africa. And for me, I'm actually really, really satisfied because she has made quite a lot of clarity, the importance of fiber and gut health on the immune system, how it is also in terms of taking away any form of inflammatory challenges, and how it has helped us in terms of blood sugar regulation. If all of these are great, then the gut-loving fiber is something that we need more of, Bernardine, to actually guide us through when we really want to play into our fiber. Fiber is something that we need because fiber is actually for the gods and not for any other thing, to help us in terms of our cholesterol level. Thank you very much, Bernardine, for having your time and making sure you share all of this wealth of knowledge from you. And to all my listeners, it's important I say thank you very much also because you're the reason why we're doing all of these. And to the one that is personally right about it, thank you so much because, yeah, you have just done that for humanity. And for me, I need to say thank you to the mic because the mic has made it possible for you to hear me. And to all of these persons making this program a successful one, thank you very much. This is where I'm going to draw the curtains as I say goodbye to everybody. And my total thanks goes to Bernardine. I'm going to see you because I hope I'm expecting to get my package because that is really going to help me. A fiber package is something that is really going to help me for me to make my body look like gold, just like yours is looking like gold. Thank you very much, Bernardine. Thank you for all your time.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the audience. I hope you are going to incorporate your fiber.
The Fitness Talk Show app is a multimedia app. It presents recent searchable news articles, a web television stream, a live internet radio stream, access to African Fitness magazine, videos, and podcasts. The media house that feeds the app specializes in news, sports, and fitness reports, documentaries, entertainment, movies, games, data collection, and analysis. Key features: access to latest news, access to FTV Internet TV stations, access to OB Radio FM Internet radio station, access to African Fitness magazine, access to several podcasts and videos related to fitness, a game to help you gain or lose weight, access to the ABBFN calendar. Download the app on the Google Play Store via the web or their app. Search for Fitness_Talk Show. Download, install, and launch. For Apple devices, please visit the Apple Store and search for Fitness Talk Show. Download, install, and launch. Don't forget to rate us afterwards so we can improve.